Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. So if you guys didn't know, Game of Thrones just became like the most winningest TV show in the history of awards that it's possible for TV shows to win. We also see a bunch of actors rolling up to the Season 7 set. So we'll start with the award stuff, then I'll talk about Season 7 stuff. Careful for spoilers for everything that's happened so far. Most of you won't be surprised at all that Game of Thrones is winning so many Emmys. If you didn't know, there's like two big different kinds of Emmys. There's like the primetime Emmys where most of the actors win their awards for performances, directors, best episodes, when best drama wins an award. Like Game of Thrones itself wins an award for being the best drama that year. But then there are the creative Emmys for like all the technical things, like the costumes, the big fight scenes. So you have that big episode 9 Battle of the Bastards, big pitch battle. Naturally, it's like a nightmare scenario trying to organize all that, just let alone get the performances out of the actors. So Game of Thrones not only has some of the best actors in the world winning awards for their performances, the best directors, the best people behind the camera, it also has some of the best technical people making like the little things that you don't always notice the best thing ever. So it's a long ways off, but next year, like the big thing that people were talking about this past year during the awards season, but because they're starting so late and the season is going to premiere so much later in the year, they're going to miss the cutoff date for next year's awards season. So Game of Thrones won't be eligible, no matter how good it is, it won't be eligible for Emmys next year. They'll have to submit all the stuff they're shooting now for awards the year after next year. So I know it sounds weird, it's not really that big a deal. They won so many awards, they could melt them down and make an Iron Throne just out of Emmys awards. That's like a Saturday Night Live sketch. Like Dan and Dave, after this past year, like they had this funny skit where they were sitting in their office with just piles of money sitting all around. Next time, it's gonna be a throne of Emmys. But on to Season 7 stuff. So the Watchers people, like the people that have been following all the castings, have noticed that they've already shot a scene with Euron Greyjoy based on some of the stuff that's happening with the Ironborn storyline. So fewer episode count, as we all know, means that they're going to get to that faster. Part of the bargain that Theon and Yara made with Daenerys in order to help her get to Westeros with her troops was that she helped them get rid of Euron. So it will seem like no surprise now that Cersei will actually be entering into a Faustian bargain with Euron because everybody else hates both of them so much. Euron is one of the only people on the show right now who is worse than Cersei. And if you weren't sure, like you haven't read the books, there's this scene that George R. R. Martin teased for Winds of Winter where the damp hair, who's one of the other brothers of Balon Greyjoy, he's one of Euron's brothers, is remembering being abused as a child, sexually abused by Euron, who then goes on to have visions of Euron sitting on the Iron Throne in a suit of Valyrian armor. So Euron's traveled all over the world, so a lot of people know about Dragonbinder, the Valyrian horn that supposedly, when blown, gives him control over dragons. So maybe we'll see that in Season 7, maybe not. But the more important thing is that the damp hair is seeing this nightmare scenario where Euron becomes like the big villain of the show. Someone who's way worse than Ramsay Bolton. And what could be worse than Ramsay Bolton than an alliance between Cersei, who just absolutely does not care about anything anymore. She'll do anything. And someone who's cut from that same villain cloth like Euron. So if the two of them were to team up, then it just opens season on everybody else. It's going to be ridiculous. So what I'm hoping for from this Euron storyline, because there's really two parts of this. You have Cersei in King's Landing. Like she's not going to leave King's Landing. She's going to be holed up in the Red Keep. But Euron's power is at sea. What I'm hoping is that we have a giant pitch battle at sea. But let me know in the comments, do you actually think that they will do a big sea battle with the Ironborn, between Yara and Euron's forces? Because they said going into Season 6, one of the things they wanted to do that they had not done yet was a giant pitch battle episode, and that's kind of how the idea for the Battle of the Bastards episode came about. They're like, we haven't done a big battle episode like that. So like the next thing that they could do to check off their list of like really awesome episodes would be a big sea battle, like a really big battle. Now they did have Blackwater, but that wasn't so much a battle as much a massacre. They just Trojan horsed in a ship full of wildfire and it just set off the entire fleet. So that wasn't like a big battle in the sense the Battle of the Bastards was a battle episode. But as I said, most of the main actors have arrived back in Belfast to start filming season 7. So like you have Samwell, you have Jon Snow, you have Cersei. There are even sand snakes that are now back in Belfast, so there will be some Dorne sand snake stuff happening. But this is really just the beginning. They're going to be filming all through the rest of the year, so we'll probably see some really cool stuff from behind the scenes in the next couple of months. So get hyped. It's going to be awesome. But if you guys didn't know, there is a Game of Thrones giveaway that's going on. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber, leave a comment on this video. It's just a $20 Amazon gift card. So now that we've started seeing stuff from behind the scenes, I can start planning some of my bonus videos. So I'll try to plan around some of the stuff that it actually looks like they're doing. So we'll talk about some Euron Greyjoy, we'll talk about some Cersei Lannister. I know everybody's still wondering about Winds of Winter too. Now that's like separate book stuff. So as we hear more stuff about the book release date, I'll be doing book videos too, but that'll be like a little bit different from the TV show videos. So next what's probably going to happen is there's new Ghost Rider footage for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. There's some new Spider-Man Homecoming, like dance behind the scenes stuff. I might do a video for that just because it's so much fun. Spider-Man starring in Marvel's version of The Get Down. So lots of awesome stuff coming later today. While you guys wait for that to post, you can click here to watch that Season 7 teaser trailer again, and you can click here for Avengers Infinity War behind the scenes. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Let's high five. I'll see you guys tonight.